I'm going to convene the meeting. We have a quorum. Are you back, Amy?
Yes, I'm back.
Very good. Okay, this is a meeting, Drum Point Property Owners Association. We're being recorded, and when Robert's rules of order apply, don't...
Is anyone there from the public?
No, don't raise your hand unless you're recognized by the chair. No, that's not right.
The other way.
Yeah. Don't speak unless recognized by the chair, and I call the meeting to order. I don't have any remarks. There's nobody here for public comments. We're going to suspend the committee reports without exception, and we're going straight to old business, which is the paving contract. I did an apples to apples comparison on a spreadsheet using 600 tons of asphalt as the benchmark, 769 feet of fabric, and 6,000 feet of what kind of edging is that? Of one type of edging and 1,500 feet of the other. And I only used Sheehy and Bean because unfortunately Great Mills was substantially over the other two. When I did the apples to apples calculations, Sheehy came in at $84,399.95 and Bean came in at $83,497.85. That's about $1,050 cheaper. Do I have a motion?
Wait a minute. Before we have a motion,
Well, we can discuss after the motion. But if you want to discuss now, that's okay too.
Well, I just want to make sure that I understand both of these. The Sheehy one has specific notes and conditions, and price reflects current liquid cement, price of $506.25 per ton, cannot be guaranteed, which means they're saying that price could change. And price reflects current fuel material prices as of 6/8/15, cannot be guaranteed, so they're saying that that price might change. And I'm not sure what mobilizations means.
That means mobilizing equipment onto the job. For some reason they mobilized in and they could not complete it, they had to mobilize out and then come back in. They would charge a mobilization fee, but that should only be at the fault of us and not him, so that would be unlikely to occur for any reason.
So the contract would clarify that. If it was just because they're not getting it done, but it's not through any fault of ours, then they can't charge us for an additional mobilization.
Right.
And there's none of that kind of detail on the one from Bean.
Correct.
right. Yeah, what does that mean? I mean, would they, is that cost plus?
It just means that there are certain, if for some reason, for instance, if the price of oil were to all of a sudden jump up $10 a barrel, it could affect the cost per ton of the asphalt.
Yeah, no, wait a minute, that's not what I mean. I understand that.
Okay.
So Sheehy is hedging their bets and saying that we're coming in at 85,231.95 or 55, based on current estimates of unit prices, and the other one doesn't, comes out at a little, $1,500 cheaper, but they haven't hedged their bets, so, you know, what does that mean? Does that mean that Bean would swallow any, they eat any changes and Sheehy wouldn't?
That's right.
Or now, well, I'm waiting until we have a motion so I can send it.
Well, let me also point out that Sheehy's appears to have a mistake in their calculation on their bid. 591 tons at 83.25
Correct.
does not equal 50,000.
50,782.
So
I must have a mistake on my spreadsheet.
is the total amount too low or too high for the tons, 590?
We don't know, and, you know, we could award this by the ton or by the foot too.
What do you mean?
Well, how many tons instead of by the
You
job?
don't, no, you wanna pay this by the ton, that's the only way you wanna do this.
What does it mean, sub-base must be plus or minus 2/10 of an inch?
That means,
Before commencement of work.
that means that if for some reason part of the road is out of section by more than 2/10, which is about this much, you know, prior
I
to.
can't hear what Jeff is saying, that seems to be critical.
Well, not really, it's a normal disclaimer in a lot of contracts that if there's, and I'm not really sure quite why this is in here, because wedge and level is part of this scope of work. But if you have like a big dip in the road or a stretch of the road which is more than 2/10 lower than it's supposed to be, then what they're saying is they
And
charge
that's
some
a
additional.
percentage of the total sub-base, not 2/10 of an inch or something like that?
What it means is that they would have to do a prior pass to the final surface, which they would feel would be some additional work and would require more money. But that really should not be the case, because that's what wedge and level is for, is to level the road up if you have some low areas, which we have included in the scope of work. But it often is a normal disclaimer in contracts for asphalt companies.
And have we had work done by either of these companies?
We have had work done by Beans, we have not had work done by Shehai.
Okay, so.
I have done jobs with all three companies, so I'm familiar with the way they work and what type of work they do.
For the third company, is such a high estimate typical for them?
No, but you see, the way bidding works in a lot of cases is depends on how hungry they are. Greg Mills is busy, Shehai is not. So if you're busy, you can put a higher number on it and you may get it, and if you do, it's to your benefit. If you're not hungry for it, then often that is you put a higher bid in. You know, everybody else is not busy right now. Shehai and Bean, I know, are not real busy right now, and they're giving us a very competitive bid, and that's what you want. That's why you want to try and get as many people involved in bidding as possible. But I do have a recommendation on this.
But we don't even have a motion yet.
Well, right now, we're just getting additional information. It's hard to make a motion if you don't have enough information to say, I feel comfortable with this one or that one.
All right, I have a question now, because we're still trying to get additional information. We had something done, was it last year? And they didn't finish, and they had to come back in the spring. And finish putting in the shoulders, and I think there were a number of problems with that. Did that company bid again?
That was Bean.
That was Bean.
That was Bean. And they were the low bidder before.
Yes, they were.
Correct.
And I remember being uncomfortable with, it just was an ongoing struggle, I guess, with them. Now.
Well, part of the problem, if I can interrupt, Amy, is
Yeah.
that their paving took place in November. And,
Oh, yes.
and that is not the time, it was right prior to the time where it's really the last growing
Right.
season of the year, so you don't want to be trying to plant grass going into the winter, so they waited until the spring. And it was not until probably March, I think, before they did get in here to do it.
Right, I remember that. Was that because we went out and contracted late?
That is because we had the work done when I don't remember just when we did award the bid, but yes, it was later in the year when we had work.
We were part of the problem, yeah.
We were part, okay, and then the other question I have, which I'm trying to gather information, is, what Dan, started asking about at the beginning. I don't remember, I can't remember the terms that we use for contracting, cost plus and so on, but, it looks to me as if Lehigh is enumerating everything and hedging their bets as a result, so that if there were a little bit more work or less work, it would be reflected in the final cost to us, whereas Bean is not. Now, so that makes it kind of a very different kind of bid, unless the hedging points that Lehigh is making are probably not going to amount to much. So I need an opinion on that.
Yeah, I think I agree that Shehigh's bid is more complex and has more conditions in it. I think that's obvious just by reading them. Does that answer your question, or, because I want to ask Jeff a question.
Well, wait, the question I'm asking is, are we comparing apples with apples when we compare Lehigh with Bean? Because the differences would not amount to that much, or are we comparing apples to oranges?
Well, price-wise, I think we could say we're almost apples, or we are. I made it apples to apples, but both of them are saying they'll do it for this bottom line price, and Bean is cheaper, even at that. Your point's well taken that the contract offered by Lehigh is more complicated and has more conditions to it. Did you have something you wanted to say?
No.
Okay. Let me ask Jeff a question. And we need to take that into consideration, Amy. I mean, that's part of our decision process, right?
So that's what I'm trying to find out. Would that turn out to be a significant percentage of change?
Well, it could be. We don't know, because
that's what I wanted to know.
yeah, they're kind of almost bailout clauses and opportunities for them to be able to charge more. Jeff, which one of these companies has the best equipment to be able to do this job expeditiously?
In my opinion, CE Bean is better set up to pave roads. Lehigh does not pave roads as much as Bean does. Bean has the county contract to pave county roads, as does Great Mills, well, not county roads, but they have in the past. So Lehigh is a smaller company. They're not set up quite as well to pave these roads, and I was actually hoping that Bean would be low, because they have a paver that can pave these roads in one pass, as opposed to paving at one side and then the other.
Can you give me a right one?
And we have an opportunity with the way the folks live on this road. There's not too many residences, and there's a way in and a back way in and out, where we can actually close the road so we can pave the road in one pass, so we don't have a seam down the center, which I think would be beneficial to the road.
Okay, so what I heard Jeff say is that even though there's only $1,000 or so,
1734.10.
okay,
And I want to say too that this number here is going to change, and probably it's not going to be exactly what we have here, because we're pricing this in unit measurements and not as a lump sum. And I can promise you that the asphalt price will be a little bit higher. For number one, because they didn't take into account at least one load of asphalt going towards wedge and level, which I'm sure we're going to use. And if you also have a little bit of an overage on that, we might have an additional 2 or 3 loads of asphalt, which are going to go down on the road. that's not really gonna affect, the difference from one company to the next significantly. So, my feeling is that, you know, your best prices and the company best suited to do the job is gonna be Bean of the two that are lowest.
Okay,
Wait, there's something I need clarification on there. Are you saying that Sheehai's price would definitely shift some with the price of asphalt and Beans wouldn't, the way these contracts are written?
It
or
could.
they both shift?
You're asking if it could change because of part of their conditions?
Yeah, with Sheehai, but I'm asking, clearly it would for Sheehai, but I'm asking would a changing price of asphalt affect Bean's overall price?
No, it will not unless it's stipulated in the contract. That's the way contracts are written for asphalt.
Okay.
If it's not stipulated, then the price you give is the price you pay, whether the price of oil goes up or down.
yeah, except that this is just a job estimate, not a contract yet.
I have one question. I know Great Mills is out of the running because of the price, but they had very specifics under their paving, which is cut back edges and cleaning, milling of tie-ins and driveway, wedge and leveling, which I just heard you say, and the rest is the 1.5-inch hot mix. Is that what all of them are going to do?
Yes, and that was
Okay.
stipulated in the scope of work
It
which
was,
they were given
okay.
at the pre-bid.
All right.
It's just not noted on the other bids.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Does everybody feel like they understand what's going on here?
Yes.
This is a big one. It's as big as we've done in a long time. So now I'll entertain a motion. Anybody have a motion?
That we award the contract to Bean.
Have a second.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
The roads that they're gonna be paving, is that what's specified on the Sheehai one? Johnson Drive, Johnson Court, Noni Way, Deer Drive, and Deer Court?
Yes, those are all,
Yeah.
were included in the scope of work.
So this job is just on those 5 locations?
Correct.
Well, I presume that's all right out of the scope of work and it's identical.
Correct.
I don't think so. We can bring it back. So, well, that's a good. So if this were to come in over, do you expect that it would be?
It wouldn't surprise me if the cost of this could be, say, $5,000 higher than this proposal cost if we have an overrun on the asphalt. And there's several reasons why that can happen, and that is when you go down a road, which is, now all our roads have a crown. Sometimes that crown may have a belly in it. And if you're putting 1.5 inches on that road, you sometimes will use up a little bit more here and there in order to bring it back into the correct section. So there can be a fluctuation in the actual amount that you use. Now we could come in real close to this, or we could come in, like I said, we could come in a little bit lower, we could come in a little bit higher. It really depends on you know, the
How
pool
much
down
asphalt.
the road and how much asphalt we use. But what you have here is a pretty close ballpark of what the job is going to cost, which is, and I can, significantly less than what the estimate was when we first looked at this back in the wintertime, which was when oil prices were higher. Because I had this figured at $100 a ton for the asphalt. I expected the bid price to come in at, and it came in considerably less at $83 or $85. Yeah.
I have another question. Has this been pre-approved by the county,
What's that?
this project?
Yes.
Okay.
What?
It has been pre-approved by
What
county,
is it?
this project.
Oh,
Yeah, the work. We always have to get pre-approval by the county before we
right.
do anything, so.
All the information in the scope of work has gone to engineering and public works.
Okay,
I've submitted all that.
just, I figured it
I have
had.
one other question.
Yes,
It seems to me we had a contractor that had me watch the whole time in the last year and a half. That wasn't one of these, or was it? I think Gary might have been watching the contract.
Yes, yes.
That was CAB.
Yeah, that was Bean, and actually, yeah, he did it on that one, and actually, I was on with Great Mills when they did our last paving job.
Yeah, the bottom line is, we always watch them.
Somebody always should be watching. And I will be available when this paving takes place to do the same.
Okay, any further discussion? We have a motion to award the bid to CAB. I think it would be smart to amend the motion to cap the award at $90,000.
That's what I was asking
Yeah.
before,
Yeah,
Gary, is
that's
what
certainly-
means price fluctuates, since it's not written in with conditions.
Well,
And
yeah.
now I'm hearing it would, and I don't care, but, I just wanna know.
Okay. Do I have a second on
So you have a not to exceed price?
Yes. 90,000. Do I have a second on that amendment?
Sure, second.
All right, so the motion as amended is to award it to Bean with a cap of $90,000.
Now, can I get an answer to my question?
I hope so.
You want me to ask the question again?
Yeah, I can, because I don't know what it is. Sorry.
I thought I was asking all kinds of questions before to find out was being stuck with this total bottom line, no matter what the price fluctuations were in asphalt. And I thought I was told yes. Now I'm told that it might go up.
Yeah, well, no, you misunderstand the question, the answer. It might go up because they're fixed on this price, but the price is fixed on the amount of material.
Ah, okay.
So if
okay.
they use more or less material, then
Okay,
they think
that's
the
what I
price,
wanted to-
that's what it is. Whereas Shihai,
It's not the market price of asphalt, it's the amount that it would actually take.
correct.
And there could be fluctuations for that area because it's so broken up anyway.
Yep. Okay, any other?
Now, presumably, if the contract that they come back to us with has variances from the estimate, then that would kick us back to starting over.
That's correct.
What?
This is, what we have is a job estimate, not a contract. So the contract, if it's any variation in the contract that's offered by them to us, then it's all null and void. We'd start over. Does that make sense?
So then we have to have another meeting to do this.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm just saying, if they did, to Dan's point, if they offered up a contract that didn't fit the job estimate, then we wouldn't sign it. And we'd start over.
It makes perfect sense to me.
Okay, if we don't have any more comment, all those in favor of the motion as amended, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed?
But I'm agreeing.
And
Remind me
you're
what-
grumbling at it too.
Remind me what the amendment was. I mean, I said yes, but I would like to know what the amendment was.
It was a cap of 90,000.
Oh, all right, thank you.
The amendment was that Amy has to be on the job supervising 24 hours.
That's the amendment, yeah, Amy, you have to be here and watch them.
As long as they don't start until July 14th.
Okay, I'm not sure when they would start. Okay, thank you, that's good, we're done with that. The next meeting would be on the first Tuesday of the month, which was previously scheduled.
I don't remember us talking about that last time, we just talked about this one.
And let's talk about that.
Let's see.
The first Tuesday is July,
That's gonna be the Tuesday after the 4th,
the
because
7th, yes. The
And the
7th,
7th,
the 7th, you don't have to
and I
come.
won't be there.
And I will not be there,
Okay, if you can call in, that'd be
not
nice.
from Hawaii.
You won't be, well, so two of us won't be here.
Now, something else that we also have to factor in is that will be July, which means one of our first orders of business is election of officers.
It's what?
Election of officers.
I know that, but it's also very, you know, I don't know if we have a policy or a procedure, but it's so close to July 4th, there might be a lot of absences.
Yeah,
Well, I can't remember if it's specifically in the bylaws, but I know somewhere it says that the first order of business following the seating of the new board is it has to structure
Yes.
itself. You have to elect
That's
your
right, that's
officers.
exactly.
no, you're right, you're absolutely right. It doesn't specify when though, it just says as soon as possible.
I think it's in the past been done right after the general election.
Yeah, we've done that, and we haven't always done that though.
No.
Sometimes
It's been done.
it's been done
We've
numerous
done it
ways.
in a wide variety of times.
Yeah, so I don't care. What's the pleasure?
Do we want to not do it the first Tuesday and maybe do it the second Tuesday in July in order to
It's fine.
maybe better accommodate board members?
That would
Which
definitely
date?
work for
Which
me.
date?
The
Second.
14th.
So that would
I
make
could
it the
actually
14th.
get to.
That's
I can
what,
be there.
14th, it sounds like a wiener.
that's
I mean, a winner.
that's the steel day?
Is it
Oh,
best
wow.
No,
Well,
but
we-
that-
I mean,
We can wear our French
So
costumes.
be here or we'll lock you up in a French prison.
All right, we all agreed on the 14th?
sure.
All right, that's what it's gonna be. And there's still no public here, so we're ready for adjournment. Anybody wanna move to adjourn?
I'll move it.
And a second?
I'd say.
And we're out of here. Thank you, everybody.